I recommend you do some hanging. It has some good benefits. So you might want to start out hanging more in the palm and then work your way to your fingers to build up your strength. First, you might want to build up the ligaments and tendons through your arm, through this chain, and then start working on the fingers so you know you have that solid. Now, reasons to do this are, as I've said, you're going to strengthen your ligaments and tendons. So we don't normally hold our arms up, we hold them down a lot. So this gives you a variation in position. It'll make them stronger for athletic activities, for weightlifting, helps with mobility, helps stretch you out. So when you're hanging, it'll help stretch out your backbone, all your joints. It'll help strengthen the weight-bearing ligaments, tendons, and muscles here. Help strengthen the bone a little bit too, which of course will be good for a variety of sports like football, weightlifting. I recommend you start slow and then build up. Don't just jump into it and get hurt. We're not in a race. The point of this is to develop your strength and make yourself better, not to hurt ourselves. So start out slow and build up, because we gotta remember ligaments and tendons take a lot longer to build up than muscle. They can take a few months. So you want to do something for a few months until you master it and get boring. It gets boring, and then move on for a few more months, and then so on. So build up slowly, because we're doing this for the long term, not to get hurt. And if you do it too quickly, if you do too much and have an athletic activity that day, like you try to do some of this and go to football, remember your joints are going to be a little tired and weaker, and so you're putting yourself at risk of getting hurt. So make sure you work smart and stagger things out. Try to balance according to your activities. And remember, we also have to build up our skin. If you're not used to hanging, your skin will be weak. It'll be a weak link in the chain, and you got to also have time for that to build up besides your ligaments and tendons. Give some time for some smooth overall callousing to be put down, so it's strength, has more strength for you. Maybe start off on a smooth bar and then go to a tree or something rough, because the tree is a lot more demanding on your nervous system and skin than something smooth is. So we've got to think about factors like that when we're doing this. A lot to think about. And now when you're starting out, just depending on where you are, you might just want to put your hands on the bar and release a little weight, and do that for a few weeks or a few months, and then build up. Do like 5 or 10 seconds, rest for 30 maybe, 5 or 10 seconds, rest for 30. Do that like 3 or 4 times every day if you can, at least a few times a week. You need repetition, so you're sending signals to your body that, hey, this ligament and this tendon and this bone needs to be built up. If you just do it once, it's there and it's gone. You're not giving the body the signal it needs. You know, we need slow and steady growth on something like this. Don't do it really hard to hurt yourself. So we might want to do something like this. Just get something where you can have your feet flat, and you can apply some pressure on the ligaments and tendons to pull out a little bit. This is, you know, a little too high to show for me. Just releasing a little bit. It's putting more pressure on than you might want to at first. If I get in my toes, then yeah, you can just like go a little bit, and then you can get a little more pressure, you know, 5 to 10 seconds, release, 5 to 10 seconds, release, 5 to 10 seconds, release, like that. And then eventually, after a while, you can work your way up to doing free hangs. Hang for a little while, and then release, rest for a bit, hang again, and then release. When you can go about 2 minutes with both hands, then try one hand, one arm. I wouldn't recommend doing that too early, because you're going to be putting a lot more, all your body weight on this ligament, these ligaments and tendons, and that could be too much. Remember, I don't know what you want to do, but I and other people, we want to improve and strengthen in the long term, not just try to show off or do something because we feel like it, or pretend we're better than someone. We want to strengthen our own selves, not get hurt. So you can build up to one hand. Now notice I rotated. What I find is that my body's going to end up going in the direction of my thumb. So if I hang this way, I'm going to rotate to face that way. My eyes and thumb are going to be facing in the same direction. So think about putting your thumb where you want to end up facing. Even if I start out like this, I'm going to rotate and twist so I'm facing there as well. Make sure you're doing both arms, of course. Hang on one, hang on the other. Helps stretch things out, helps strengthen your ligaments and tendons. Again, you can start here and work your way to there. So remember, go smart, go through progressions, as you should do a lot of other things, because you got to give your body time to build up the skin strength, the ligament and tendon strength. Remember, they're slower to build than muscle is. So you want to work on this slower in context and work on it in context of other things that you're doing. Other hard activities that might work your shoulders. And if you do this one day, then you might not want to do, some weightlifting like log flipping, because that works your shoulders a lot too. Just be smart about your training, and good luck.